This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
An Arca Racing Series.
His career best. He said, well, I'd really like to improve my career best today. I said, well, that puts you in victory lane. He goes, that's exactly what I mean.
That's what he meant. That's what he meant. What a nice job Dakota Armstrong's doing. I know you did a little racing with Dakota back a year or two ago.
Caution flag's out, guys. Caution flag is out for turn number 2. It seems like Allie Owens has got some problems. That's not the 15. That's the 30. That's
36.
36 of Rob Brent. And so Rob Brent has problems, bringing out our first caution after we've completed 17 laps of racing. Steve dropped back. He was running second on the restart. Problems going to the infield, and there's going to be contact with the outside wall. The 75. Benny Chastain gets into the wall, and it looks as though the field is going to miss him below. So the caution comes out once again.
What a nice job by all those guys to miss Benny.
A lot of guys did heads up driving there.
And that's what Frank needed. That's going to get Frank back on the lead lap with the Aaron's lucky dog.
Puts the window net down, letting him know that he's okay.
See, there he is in the grass, and he comes across the racetrack. Patrick Shelter just gets by, and everybody else has room to get down to the inside. Benny does a nice job keeping that car up against the wall.
Yeah, that advice went out the door just a few moments ago.
What's
Stay
up?
on the bottom. Well,
oh, trouble.
Problems. The 66 of Mark Thompson and Bill Baird in the 52. A hard hit as they go by our cameras. Also involved, we saw there's
the Alex Kennedy right there with the 38 car.
That was the one that caught the wall just in front of us.
Part of his tailpipes.
Kyle Martell in the 43 slows to try to avoid.
A lot of damage to Alex Kennedy's car.
One of the cars in the middle.
Yeah, a little damage to James Bush's car. Remember, he was towards the back of that pack. Actually, a lot of damage to that Phoenix Construction Toyota. If we can take a look now, look at 4 wide. You see cars touch right there. Looked like Bill got hooked in the right rear corner by the 25 car, Mikey Kyle. As you mentioned, hard contact for Alex Kennedy into the outside. Well, look at Bobby Gerhardt. A lot of damage to Bobby Gerhardt. He's not going to win again here on the super speedways. There was a contact right there. Mark Thompson's car gets up on 2 wheels. Patrick Shelter gets a little bit of piece of that.
Only 2 off the double yellow line in this front pack.
Now Tom Hessert has jumped to the bottom behind the 43 of Kyle Martell.
Scott Stenzel, Chase Mattioli, Patrick Sheltra, Nick Igdalski, and Jarek Johnson all on the lead lap. There's 17 cars on the lead lap, and that second pack is closing the gap on the first pack.
Again, because of these last 3 or 4 cars not really tucked up together, that will allow that group behind them to gain ground on them. See, Tom Hessert again moves to the outside, trying to make a run on the 43 car. See, this next group of 4 pretty much staying in line.
2 wide in front of them. Enables them to close that gap. Across the stripe this time. 7 laps of racing to go from Talladega.
Tom Hessert now making a little move. If the 31 of Tim George could pull right up behind him, maybe push a little bit, they could gain some more ground. This is as far up as they've been since the restart.
There's a lot of these guys that have been impressive, Dave, but I know the whole effort that Grant Enfinger has, that team and him are rock solid every time they come out.
Al Martin pulled to the outside. That's going to give them another car in the outside line. He's going to try to pull to the outside of Justin Marks.
Trying to side draft off that 32 as it goes through the turn now through the tri-oval.
See Patrick Shelter, the very back of that outside line with all that damage. Now here goes the 77 of Tom Hessert to the outside. He drives by Al Martin.
Al Martin's going to get hung out in that middle line. '22 of Dakota Armstrong not able to clear Hal Martin in the 35, so Dakota Armstrong on the outside of 3 wide, trying to get some help from his teammate up front, Tom Hessert in the 77, as that 77 continues to move toward the front.
They're gaining some ground gradually.
Hal Martin dropping back to 60 of Patrick Shelter coming into the picture, as well as that 42 of Scott Stenzel. The second pack has caught the first pack. Now they're on the move. This time by the stripe. It'll be 5 laps remaining from Talladega.
Tom Hessert has a little bit too much gap on the 31 car. Now the 31 car pulls up behind him, and you can noticeably see them gain speed the closer that 31 car gets to him.
Brad Enfinger, Steve Arpin, Craig Gose, Joey Coulter, Frank Kimmel. They are your top 5. Now battling on the outside. Here comes the 77 of Tom Hessert. Brandon McReynolds in that lead draft in the 6.
Brandon, you see he's 23rd position, several laps down right now.
I wouldn't be there right now if I was him. I'd be back a ways in case something happens. My car wouldn't get tore up for no reason.
One of his hood pins has come loose. You can see the hood flapping a little bit. You talked about the turbulence that's out there on this racetrack.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think it's great to get that experience, but right now he knows business is going to pick up here, and want to bring that car home in one piece.
Final 4 laps of racing. Tom Hessert trying to make the move on Joey Coulter. This is a battle for the 5th position. Takes it away, and Hessert moves to the 4th spot now.
It's finally coming. Tom Hessert pulls to the outside of Steve Arpin in a battle for 2nd.
The outside line is moving. Here comes Hessert battling for the lead. Steve Arpin tries to get to the back bumper of the 09 of Grant Enfinger. The outside line is moving. Tim George Jr. behind the 77. When they go through the tri-oval, it'll be 3 laps to go. Enfinger moves back out front. Enfinger leads this lap.
Look at the speed they pick up when Steve Arpin got to the back bumper of that 09 car of Enfinger.
Less than 3 to go. The outside line was challenging for the lead, and now they've dropped back to 3rd.
Grant Enfinger right now, he's watching the mirror, Kenny, more than he's watching out the windshield.
Right, because he doesn't want Arpin to get in front of the 77 car.
And Arpin gave up the bottom of the racetrack. Now he comes back down in front of the 77. That was close.
But here comes Dakota with a run.
Dakota was out of the contention here about 4 or 5 laps ago. Now he's got a good shot. He's side by side for 3rd with his teammate, looking to get beside of Arpin.
There'll be 2 laps of racing to go when they come through the tri-oval.
Right now, Enfinger's got 2 huge laps to make the right decisions here. And Dakota's got to run. Patrick Sheltra, that's going to be big.
With all that damage.
One other thing that they're going to have to factor in, there are 4 cars in front of this lead pack that are lap down cars. They're going to catch them. What will they do when they get up to them? 4 and 5 wide, coming out of turn 2 down the backstretch.
Watch Enfinger now. See him all the way to the outside. He's been against the yellow line since the restart. Now he's at the outside because that's where the 55 car went.
He's doing a fabulous job with his mirror, which is his job to do.
3 wide, 4 wide, coming out of turn 4 and into the tri-oval. Here they come to the slower lap traffic. Enfinger in front of Steve Arpin. When they come to the stripe, it'll be the final lap. 1 lap to go from Talladega. Enfinger in front.
Right now, it's Enfinger's job to keep the 55 behind him. He has no control if they get 3 or 4 wide. He's got to keep the closest car behind him. Right now, Dakota has a run on the outside.
Dakota Armstrong, the strong car, coming out onto the backstretch. They're moving back and forth. Jockeying for position as they go down the backstretch.
Look at Hessert on the inside.
Craig Gose gives Tom Hessert a shove. Hessert looking to get by the 22. Now problems. The 55 of Arpin spins.
Coulter gets turned around.
No caution flag as of yet. The field making their way into the tri-oval. They still don't throw the yellow. It's going to be the 22. Dakota Armstrong coming out of the tri-oval will win at Talladega.
Patrick Shelter, with all that damage to his car, comes home in 2nd.
The caution now comes out. It was the 55 that got sideways in 3 and 4. He was running in the 2nd position. They were 2 and 3 wide coming through the final turn. And it was Dakota Armstrong who was the benefactor of the problems with the 55. Dakota Armstrong charges to the front and wins at Talladega.
I'm telling you, with 10 laps to go, it looked like he was out of contention, Kenny.
I thought they had problems. They were all the way at the back there.
At the stripe, Patrick Shelter was shown second. Tim George Jr. was third. Craig Ghost comes home fourth. Mikey Kyle in fifth.
How about Scott Stencil with a 7th place finish? Great job by him.
Leading with 1 lap to go, the 09 of Grant Enfinger. He's being scored in the 6th position.
What a race. What a finish.
That's why they don't pay anybody till they get to the start-finish line for the checkered flag.
Man, Grant Enfinger looking so strong going into turn number 3, blocking everyone he could, but it was the strong run on the inside of the racetrack. The 22, Dakota Armstrong, grabbed his first pole in the Arca Racing Series earlier today, and now he celebrates his first ever win in the Arca Racing Series, presented by Remax and Menards.
Kenny, I remember you telling me a year and a half ago that this kid had a lot of talent, great family, and it's great to see him with some early success.
We ran him 3 or 4 times last year, maybe a few more than that, and he did real good, and good family, and the kid's got a lot of talent.
He showed it today as he was able to play the chess game on the final turn of Talladega Superspeedway. Get out front.
Let's take a look now. This is coming off turn 2 on the very last lap.
He's in 5th spot.
Grant Enfinger still with the lead. Side by side, Steve Arpin in the 55. Now they start bumping. Patrick Shelter starts bumping the 22. The 77 starts bumping the 55, and then the bottom of the racetrack opens.
They're 3 wide, and the 22 gets out front. The 77 looks like a parachute was thrown on that race car as he drops back. The 55 was spinning. They were 3 and 4 wide coming out of the final turn as they were headed to the tri-oval.
How about Tim George Jr. with a 3rd place finish, his best career finish here in the Arca Series.
This is a look at the 55 of Steve Arpin.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.